All right, welcome home, Bitcoin Truth Seekers. What an interesting 24 hours it has been. It is November 16th. It's Tuesday, 9:03 a.m. here in the Arizona desert, and I'm waiting for a tow truck here to get that incredibly expensive boat anchor you see in the back behind the green screen towed because, well, it's really cool when it runs, but I've kind of been humbled recently. Electronics, if you get like a little mini EMP from the sun or whatever, as neat as your car might be, when that EMP hits or a fuse blows or whatever, I can't even get that piece of shit in neutral. Anyway, with that said, boom, they have to come and put dollies under it to pull it out of the garage. Anyway, with that said, it's like Bitcoin ain't the only thing crashing around here. So the tow truck comes, I may have to go. With that said, check it out. Looking at the Bitcoin and crypto universe, last hour only in the squares, it's starting to turn green. It's definitely been red. Oh, sorry about that. It's still red. I just refreshed. So it's mostly red, but we're starting to see some green for sure. Nice to see a File, TRX, and Matic definitely are in the green. We'll take a look at those. All right, looking at the top 10 this morning, let's just check it out. It's always the same, but sometimes it changes. And I think between now and the end of the year, I think we're going to see a lot of jockeying for positions here. So in order of greatness, Bitcoin, Ethereum, Binance Coin, Tether, Solana, Cardano, XRP, Polkadot, USD Coin, and Dogecoin. And who's number 11? Shiba Inu wants to take Doge's spot. Solana is at number 5. Do you think this year it'll pass by Ethereum? Or would Solana possibly be hanging out right below Ethereum? Take Binance Coin's spot, or maybe actually take Tether's spot. Anyway, we're going to see some crazy stuff here, and I bet we're going to see coins up here in the top 10 that we had not expected between now and 2022. All right, check this out. Bitcoin trading volume is insane. Okay, it might be dumping, but that's fine. We got 8.8 billion. We actually had 9 billion earlier. 8.8 billion last 24 hours trading volume. That is massive. This is mostly retail trading. That's rocking. So people, in my opinion, are buying this dip. All right. I guess ultimately they're also getting liquidated, and that's probably showing some retail volume right there. And we're going to talk about liquidations and leverage real quick, okay? Because it's and sorry about the construction noise. I live next to a construction site. That's just my life. I live in a garage next to a construction site. Anyway, well, I work in the garage. So with that said, Binance 4.6 billion, Coinbase 1.6 no, Binance 4.6 billion, Coinbase 1.6 billion, Bitfinex 1 billion, Kraken 500 million. So pretty damn rocking. So we got some nice stuff going on. Bitfinex, but a lot of things got wrecked there. Anyway, with that said, check this out. Let's keep on rolling. Looking at the spot trading volume on Binance for all the sweet ass volume is. We'll refresh this real quick. Like to see 50 billion for a really good day. 30 billion will just get you by. We're at 40. So 30 is good enough. 50 is really good. 40, right on. And up 85%. Last 24 hours, you can see the 7-day graph taking off. So this dump has definitely gotten the market sparky. Looking at derivatives, I hate to even look. Yeah, you want to have 70 billion for good derivatives for Binance. We are at 116. Let's see, hundreds, thousands, millions, 116 billion. My God, up 85% in derivatives. That's 24 hours on Binance. That is insane. So anyway, let me look at this again. Is reality working here? That's 40 billion, looking good, up 85%. Then for spot pairs, derivatives, 116 billion. Oh my heavens. People are longing the crap out of this. So be careful, because the longs are probably stacking up radically. And we'll take a closer look at that right now. All right. Looking at longs, 80% longs, 19% shorts on Binance. For Bitcoin, for Ethereum, 72% longs, 27% shorts. So we definitely got a long bias going on. Let's check out the charts here. So for Bitcoin, 45-minute chart, as you can see, we broke below the 200 moving average. We pretty much dumped even really. Now the RSI was able to keep up. Directional index is in the red, but it's starting to turn back up. Squeeze indicator has been in the red, but it's starting to turn back up. KRI is coming up. Definitely we're starting to see some bought action here with the stochastic RSI because we have been recovering pretty hard. Which oscillated by Lazy Bear showing it's a good day. Let's look at a 4-hour chart and see how this also plays out. 4-hour chart, definitely we broke below the 2 moving average on the 4-hour chart, but we did only slightly wick down close to the 314 moving average. We're beginning to pull out of it. Indicators look like it's go time. Which oscillated by Lazy Bear is a powerful indicator on the 4-hour, especially for Bitcoin. That tangent is about to turn up. I think we're done with this dump, but who knows? Definitely volatile territory. We did dump, and now people get into the why and the how of it. We'll look at that real quick at the end, because really what you care about is what's happening now. Who cares why? 4-hour chart was not wrecked, was not taking out of anything, within reason. 45-minute chart, we're definitely below the 2 moving average. I want to see us get back above that. I want to see our indicators turn up. Right now, even though we've dumped, we're beginning to turn back up. This is a lot of volume right here. It's a lot of action just to get this far, recovered. It does look like stochastic RSI shows we may cool off and go sideways a little bit before we continue going back upwards, but we are definitely headed that way. All right, now, can I actually? Yeah. As you can see, we've been ranging for quite a while. Right here, this thing that happens. This is always thought this is like, people always want to know, like, do ETs exist? I'm always like, do whales exist? Yeah, they do. Look at that. They've been ranging this thing for a while, buying the top and the bottom, made their money here, sold, dumped it. I mean, if you look at it, it's all in the indicators. Nothing really happens in a vacuum is a mystery. I mean, but definitely, this is definitely a pretty stout dump, but really, who cares? We'll get into the why, my little conjecture on it. And we'll talk about leverage real quick as we do that, because I think that's what a lot of it is about. With that said, let's look at Ethereum. Ethereum, quite honestly, doing the same thing Bitcoin is doing, but it did not quite dump as hard, and it is recovering quickly. Ethereum definitely did not dump as hard as Bitcoin. That's a 45-minute chart. Let's look at a 4-hour chart. How's that looking? Didn't even hit the 200 moving average on the 4-hour chart. Indicators are showing a rev up. Ethereum definitely holding its own and not going completely potty because Bitcoin's having a bad day. I like seeing that. Litecoin dumped. Maybe it's catching some sideways. Really, overall, it didn't do that bad. 4-hour chart, it's above the 200 moving average. Not bad at all. Let's look at a 45-minute chart. Not bad at all. It's hanging in there pretty strong, kind of like Ethereum. Not quite taking not quite taking Bitcoin's crap. Looking at Shiba Inu, SHIB versus USDT was doing great yesterday. I was having, or a day or so ago. They were doing good. It was doing good, but now, as you can see, it turned around, it dumped, tried to make a pull, tried to come up, but dumped again. Anyway, with that said, Shiba Inu, that's a 45-minute chart. Let's look at a 4-hour chart here. 4-hour chart is kind of inspiring. SHIB's been really, I'm kind of concerned about this stuff here. You could almost, if you were really a little bit optimistic, you can almost say like you got a lower high, lower high, lower high. Actually, this would be a higher low, higher low, higher low, higher low right there. Anyway, I guess we're kind of seeing a bit of a, definitely, you kind of make it's a 4-hour chart here. You can kind of make a nice, without worrying about being too neat here, you can kind of make a wedge in here, and you can see where it's running out of time. It's got to do something, but it's been keeping above on the 4-hour chart. This 200 moving average, I like that. It's right in the middle of the RSI cave. Indicators are not exactly inspiring. It's basically just sideways as F. Anyway, but doing all right. So we had a big dump, and it didn't go below the 200 moving average on the 4-hour chart, and it looks like it's holding on. Maybe it's going to bounce there. Let's look at a 45-minute chart here. 45-minute chart below 200 moving average. It's where a lot of other things are. Indicators definitely turning up. All right, there we go. SHIB still in the races. Mana was working on that 618 golden pocket yesterday. Broke above off that 314, past 200. It's up. It didn't dump much at all with Bitcoin's craziness. So Mana versus USDT on the 45-minute chart looking strong. Now check this out. Sand. Oh my gosh. I was doing a fib sequence. This thing went down to the, it gave it all back when and even more so than recent price action, and then it just rocketed. So that's really amazing. So if you were in Sand versus USDT, why this sucker took off, I don't know, but strong looking chart. I'm not even sure if we're gonna. Yeah, it's just too crazy to extend that. I'll see where this comes down to. Maybe it'll come to a 0.5 fib level or a 618 again and bounce. Something pumped that thing pretty wild. Crow versus USDT. recently massive moves up, gave a lot back when Bitcoin dumped. This is a 45-minute chart. It touched the 200 moving average. Now it's moving back up again. Indicators are somewhat indecisive, but ultimately turning up. I think Crow might be back in the game. Sol versus USDT. Sol broke below the 200 moving average, wicked way down low. It's fighting. Indicators are showing it's beginning to recover. So in general, a lot of strong, some things really show their strength. Like Ethereum didn't take too much crap from Bitcoin. It dumped a bit, sure, but it didn't quite, totally blow it like Bitcoin did, and it's recovering quicker. Litecoin, it's 45-minute chart, definitely below the 200 moving average, but it's sideways turning up, not too bad. SHIB, it's all right, broke below 200 moving average. It was kind of weak beforehand. We'll see if it can get itself moving again. Mana, boom, it's in the running. This is a strong chart. Might see a 0.5 balance, and it might continue up today. These indicators are turning up. That squeeze indicator looks very, very positive here. All right, watch for that directional index to get in the green. ADX is already in the right spot. Let's see what happens. So we definitely got some things that are going to recover. It's all about who recovers quicker. SAND versus USDT. Once again, like I say, maybe a 0.5 bounce and it continues up. Strong looking thing. Crow versus USDT. It's recovering. It's looking good. I like it. Let's look at a 4-hour chart on that one, not just a 45-minute chart, and see how it's doing. Oh man, never mind. I'm looking where it doesn't have a lot of history. Anyway, and it's on Coinbase. I think that's probably what's getting this thing sparky recently. Sol versus USDT, below the 200 moving average on the 45-minute chart, but it's all right. It's turning up. 4-hour chart, Sol versus USDT did not even. It hardly even got a wick very close to the 200 moving average. It's continuing up. Indicators are in the turnaround mode right there. So I just wanted to mention really quick here, and sorry you guys can't see it. I was trying to get it where you could see it. Maybe I will actually. Let me change the window that I'm sharing just so you guys can see this. And let me see if I can share a screen. I want to share a different screen. So stop screen. I'm going to share screen, leverage, and boom. Okay. I know this is not, super exciting here. It's just a text screen. But I wanted to read this because I think it has a value. Just a lot of negativity about the market and what's happening and what leverage means and what actually happens when we get these dumps. And so I just wanted to mention, I've been chatting with a lot of people this morning, trying to get a real clear understanding of people talk about shorts and longs getting wrecked and such like that. And that's why these things happen. And the market's over leveraged and all. And I've talked to a lot of people, well, last couple of days and also this morning quite a lot. And one thing I wanted to mention, here's just some kind of bullet points that came to me as I've been talking to people. For one thing, we have to realize you can't say something is true or false based on nothing. You have to have a reason. So it's either, is it 100% true or 100% false? Or is it 70% true 30% of the time? You really got to hook into things and tell me how you're measuring them for it to really have, meaning. Like Lord Kelvin said, to measure is to know. So things that I figured out. All right. Seems it comes down to because they make money off, seems to come down to because they make a lot of money from those liquidated positions. They keep the crypto and the fees. So cross positions are a great gift for the leverage traders give to the exchanges. So definitely the exchanges, you are paying. I'm going to read this top part here. Actually, this is a comment in Crypto Love's secret Discord channel. So I'll credit where this came from. And someone there put it this way. He says, you pay funding fees at a percent anyway, as long as a position is open. But yeah, they make a ton on liquidations. Essentially, when people are leveraging, they're borrowing that leverage from the platform to open the position. That position is then subject to funding fees on the entire size of your trade, not just your initial. When a position gets liquidated, they get to keep that initial investment you made. Imagine that happening to thousands of positions at once, especially on cross-leveraged positions. They are a gift to the exchanges, when you try to play it both ways. With that said, that's why leverage trading is so dangerous. I've seen people with cross positions get everything they own liquidated by a bounce. So when you see that Darth Maul doji, they're wiping out the longs, wiping out the shorts, and they're also wiping out people like on Bybit who are playing it both ways because you can do that. So they make a lot of money off those liquidations. They get to keep that money you're borrowing from them ultimately. And so I know this is obvious, but also, I'm just trying to just go into this really quickly. I'm probably not doing it as elegantly as I would like to, but just wanted to kick it out because there's way too much just negativity about this stuff. And too much conjecture about the longs and the shorts and liquidation. So just a little bit more here. I'll get you out of here. Fees on market closes are high and good for exchanges. So that's part of the exchange created volatility game. So ultimately, when they are wiping you out and keeping your money, they're also getting those market close fees. They're more expensive than limit orders, so they make money there too. Does seem that maybe the exchanges like to free up liquidity to keep systems ready for an unexpected market move. So that's true too. The exchanges only have so much liquidity, and when it's too tied up in longs or shorts or both, I think that this is just high octane speculation. They want to do a little Darth Maul doji or a pump or a dump, basically so that they can keep liquidity so that they're ready for anything. Also, exchanges create the newly wrecked liquidity for whales that have ordered it, maybe OTC's buys behind the curtain. You pretty much get what I'm saying. Also, not that the whales and exchanges are working together, because whales can manipulate the exchanges, but could there be a handshake somewhere, and could it just be the exchange itself? Also, an exchange with too many longs or shorts in one direction could run out of liquidity. Is that possible? Now, I was told that exchanges would just stop taking positions before that was the case. It makes sense, but also, would they really want to do that? That would kind of make them look weak. Oh, we're out of liquidity to support your long or your short, So might they just do a bit of a pump and a dump, pump, dump, or pump and dump, whatever you want to call it, to create some liquidity to keep opening longs and shorts? Just a thought. So all high octane speculations, and of course this could be exchanges and or just whales doing it. So I didn't quite articulate this as well as I would like to, but it really comes down to when you get liquidated, be it a long or a short, the exchange makes your money. They keep it, and they also make the fees. And of course, we have a lot of market orders. When you do have market volatility in longs or short with leverage, or ultimately just longs and shorts, either way, even without, longs without leverage, just spot trading. If you have a stop loss, ultimately they're making a lot of money right there from market orders, especially when they hit their stop losses. So I mean, ultimately, the volatility, you hitting stops, whether you're leveraged or not, makes the exchange money. I do question exchanges being able to handle the liquidity needed to support too many longs or shorts, or both at once. All in one direction or in both directions, and they just kind of tend to cause these things. Whales could be orchestrating all of it without even the exchanges really being privy to it. Anyway, with that said, longs and shorts getting wrecked. I'm going to start in the future looking. I was doing it before, but I'm going to start looking at how I'm looking for some hooks into seeing every day how many longs and shorts we have running, at least on Binance. So if you have a link for that, send it to me. I got to figure out how to look at big picture as much as we can. What are longs and shorts actually looking like? Because we might find that if we look at it all the time, we're going to start to recognize trigger points where it's going to get corrected. With that said, I mean, there you go. That's my little take on leverage. And one of the biggest things I just wanted to get across is, by golly, darn it, don't be negative about it. It's just the way it works. Think like a whale and you'll become a whale. Think like wealthy people, you'll become a wealthy person. Trade like a wealthy person, you'll become a wealthy person. Also, this whole thing of why did Bitcoin dump? You see all this conjecture. Oh, I bless everyone in their CMA gap. Maybe that's the truth. Maybe the CME gap has to be filled. But I honestly think it's really something whales or exchanges and or both working together hide behind to create a validity in the market dumping. Because if you think it's a CME gap and everyone goes, oh yeah, it's a CME gap, that's why it happened. I think wouldn't that just be a great way for manipulation to hide? I think that's what it really is. It just keeps regulators off the trail. It doesn't make manipulation so easy. I think the whole CME gap thing is a con, honestly, that whales have been using for a long time. So I guess it's worth looking at, but I think at heart, it's manipulation. So ultimately, CME gap, which some people have, it is a cult. It is a religion. I get it. If it's dear to your heart, keep it. I'm not going to try to take it from you. I do think that its efficacy is unreal past manipulation that whales hide behind and exchanges hide behind. And with that said, Why did Bitcoin dump? There's so many YouTubes about it right now. Just because it did. Who gives a shit? It's going to turn around. You didn't get screwed over, and I hope it didn't wreck your trades. And you know what? If you went into a good position, then it's going to recover. It'll just take longer to take a profit. There you go. You know what I'm saying? And if you were shorter, well, you didn't get wrecked. But if you did, well, good. Anyway, with that said, everybody, see you again tomorrow. And remember, as always, for every Bitcoin Satoshi you own, regardless of whether the CMA cap is real or not, a piece of shit globalist cries. Take care.